Hello traders, welcome back to Hashem Trading channel. Gold price will go above 3,300 and potentially 5,000 in the next 5 years. But why and what's the reason behind of it? Today we will look into the technical aspect and also some of the fundamental aspects to find out what's actually keep bringing gold price to the upside. So let's go straight to the point right here. I have opened up the monthly chart for gold. So right here, we can see that the price is consolidating from 2020, year of 2020 to the year of very end of 2023. That was the last consolidations in terms of the monthly point of view, all right? And ever since then, gold is all the way up since last year. All right, so if we look at what is happening during 2024, and we will see price actually spike up, all right, 7,000 pips right here from the price of 2040 to up to 2,750. So that's around 7,000 pips and around 34.6% gain from the initial value start from 2024. So we are just early on the quarter ones of 2025 and second month February right here and 2025, and we already see some crazy bullish momentum, which the price already went up 3,000 pips, which is around 11% on 2025, even though we are still early on this year. If we can expect the same bullish momentum is gonna happen on 2025 compared to 2024, right? From the start of 2025, which we are actually sitting at 2631, right? We can potentially goes up 5,000 to 7,000 pips. And with this current momentum, right, the January momentums and February bullish momentum is actually stronger than the 2024 Q1 momentums right here. So we can easily expect price to give around the same movement from the year. So let's say we are expecting a 7,000 pips towards the upsides around a 34.6% gain. Right here, we are going to be above 3,300. So if let's say we're going to expect the same amount of gain, average out from 20-30%, the amounts of pips gonna be slightly bigger because we are at a higher price right now. So, but if let's say we are talking about if gold gonna be growing up around 30%, right? We can see price goes up to 3,500. That's probably the potential scenario that gonna happen this year. So that's why I expect gold to be above 3,300 this year soon. And when it's gonna happen, it can be expected on Q3 or even Q4 this year that we can see price above 3,300. So we are just simply breaking down the technical aspect from this point of view, right? And in terms of the 12 months of a year, we might expect, right, 2 to 3 months of bearish candlestick closures, as last year we only have 2 months of being bearish because Trump being elected and it boosts up the US dollar strength. Ever since then, when January happened, price is just keep going up until now. If we look at January itself, we up for 2,000 pips. So let's say, right, if we have 10 months, so let's say if we have 10 months of average 2,000 pips of bullish momentums, or average out to 1,000 pips of bullish momentum with 1,000 pips of 10 months, right, here and there. It don't have to be continuous 10 months being bullish. So we might see again 2-3 months of bearish in between. But let's say if we have 10 bullish months of 1,000 pips from the January, from the starting of 2025, which is around 2,600, we will see price actually above 3,500 already, because 1,000 pips times tens is gonna be around 10,000 pips, right? We might not expect exactly over 10,000 pips, but even let's say we can get 600-700 pips, like 6,000 or 7,000 pips, just like last year, we can expect price to be above 3,300 or even 3,500. So this is just the basic technical standpoint. What is the potentials if the bullish momentums continue? And next, we're gonna look into what is the fundamental behind all these price actions. So today we're gonna look into three fundamental key points that actually affect gold price to the upside. The first one, we're gonna talk about central banks are buying gold. Next is gonna be inflations and economic uncertainties, right, etc. Because Trump presidential, we're gonna expect a lot of uncertainties in the market, especially from the US markets. So next is gonna be the geopolitical tensions and the global debt situation. So we will go through a simple go through and simple breakdown from all these points that actually boosting goes up. And first, we're gonna start off with central banks are buying gold. So let's check out a few sources and article right here. Right, this stated like who bought all these golds, basically which central banks of which country are buying on piling golds. So take a look last year, right? In 2024, the biggest buyers adding 90 tons of gold to its reserves is from Bank of Holland's, all right, that increased the gold holdings to 20% of its reserve. So it ups from 20% of what they already have in terms of their central bank. Next, we can see the second is gonna be Turkey. They're buying 74.8 tons of gold, right? Even though the Turkish central bank sold a significant amount of gold in 2023, they returned buying gold last year. Thirdly, we see the Reserve Bank of India added the third largest amount of gold reserve during 2025, purchasing 73 tons. That's just 1.8 tons difference from the second rank, and making up 11% of increase of the total gold reserve of the central bank's holding. So a keynote from the Indian economist, he said that the reliability of US dollar has diminished. He noted the noticeable decline in the confidence in US dollar assets. So back then, US dollar is a strong, super strong currencies that many of the countries look up to, and they use it a lot in terms of trading, in terms of the global trade, the global business they are doing. But now they are slowly offsetting from US dollar, so gold become one of the strong assets that many of the central banks looking up to. So on another source right here, we can see China's central bank maintains gold buying momentum in January. So this is just a recent news. In January, right, Central Bank of China already start investing back in gold. So central bank added gold on to its reserve in January for third month official data by the People's Bank of China. And the gold reserve was 73.45 million fine troy ounces. I am not sure how many tons equivalent to this. And it rose significantly a big amount from the particular gold holding reserves. And also we can see a key point right here. Gold has reached an all-time high, breaking multiple records so far this year due to uncertainty surrounding US President Trump tariff policies, which have amplified concerns about global economic growth and inflationary pressures. So this is actually the second point that we're going to talk about, which is the inflations and the economic uncertainty right here. Now, if we talk about rate cut and inflations right here, all right, we can see some of the infos provided, all right, and Fed, all right, will wait for the next quarter before cutting rates, which means that it can be April, May, or June, right here. There might not be rate cuts imposed during the first quarter, but we can see gold already goes up. So what if the rate cuts happen on Q2, which mean that gold just gonna be continue the bullish momentums if rate cuts really being imposed. And because of the tariffs and the policy imposed by Trump during his election period, presidential period, it will cause inflations to actually goes up in a faster pace from what the economists actually been stating right here. So the rate cut already cumulatively 100 basis points between September and December, which is around Q4 last year. They are not in a hurry on lowering the rates, the interest rate so soon, but it gonna be expected that at least still be rate cut this year on 2025. Now, the third point It's gonna go into the geopolitical tensions and some about the global debt. Now, we are talking about the trade war that's happening in terms of the geopolitical tensions, also related to the economic uncertainties because of these Trump's fresh tariffs. But bear in mind, the war that we are talking about that happened in 2025 for that's still ongoing, and it did not really have a complete ceasefire yet. So the war that happens, the Israel Hamas war, right, the Russia Ukraine war, that actually they are still happening right now, even though it's slowing down without a complete ceasefire, as what I know. With the physical war that's happening and the trade war, the finance war that's happening on the raise of tariffs on steel, metals, aluminum imports, gold is just keep pushing up on these all uncertainties, all political tensions. And in terms of the global debt from the history, in terms of the debt and gold, we can also look into the history about the global debt. In 2018, gold price is just around $870 per ounce. And the speed of gold raising up in terms of how gold is going to the upside in terms of price actions, how it's spiking up, the speed and the amount is increasing even though the percentage remain 20-30% plus per year. But because the initial price of gold on the starting of the year is higher, so if let's say gold remaining to goes up to 20-30% per year, right, the amount that gold price in terms of pips, in terms of dollar, is actually bigger than it is compared to the previous growth. Now, if you talk about the recent years, right, in 2024, US narrowly avoided defaulting on its debt after months of political deadlock over debt ceiling, right? So the debt is already hitting up to the moon, to the debt ceiling. The national debt is hitting 34 trillion. That's gonna be a crazy amount right here that we might never really see. So with all this uncertainty, all right, gold become the safe haven. The safest bet is written here for 2025. So from this video, this is the simple reason why gold is gonna be in long term is gonna be keep going up. And when will this happen? That's of course that's I can't give an exact specific date that price will be certain this price. But again, in terms of technical point of view, in terms of fundamentals as a support, we can see gold above 3,300 this year, right? Sooner as Q3 or even Q4. And when will we go above 5,000? It can be expected in the coming of 5 years or even shorter than that. I was talking about 2 or 3 years. So let me know in the comment down below what is your thought about gold in terms of short terms and long term. What do you expect to see gold closing price end of 2025? That's about it for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We see you on the next video.